Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is daily race A for the week commencing Monday the 25th of July 2022. It is a one make race, this being actually one of the more exciting cars in my opinion, the Honda Civic Touring Car. So the classic shape, the classic model, basically some awesome close tin top basically touring car racing taking place for daily race A this week at Willow Springs, and I believe this is the Streets of Willow Springs layout we're using. So as you're going to see throughout this video, it is close, it is hectic, and it is chaotic. It's just absolute craziness. You know, you've got a lot of these very, quite powerful front wheel drive classic touring car looking things just bouncing around the track on probably one of the most awkward layouts in Gran Turismo 7 in my opinion. It's very difficult to kind of get used to this track because there's no massive sort of, I guess, spotting points for your braking and your accelerating and stuff. It feels a bit like a bit of a maze, especially when you get towards the back of the straight here, or as well curved section, and obviously you see some of the more coned off area. It's kind of awkward the first few times you go through here because you're trying to remember where you are because of the layout. It's just in the middle of a desert area. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more, I guess, cool but chaotic little maze tracks, and it's kind of cool to see these small little hot hatches brought here to do a one make race. And I think honestly it provides some of the most, I guess, close and fun racing I've seen in a long while. I mean, the two lead cars did sort of take off quite early on. They got away cleanly while I did get kind of caught in the pack, and they did kind of take off, but the rest of us were quite in our own groups. It was like three separate groups really. So I'd say there were the front three cars which were quite close. Third place was, I guess, a little bit more lacking behind. Then there was sort of the middle group, which was I was kind of towards the front end of, and then there was sort of the back of the grid group where I feel like everybody was taking each other out. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it definitely made for some, I guess, close and exciting racing throughout. It was more of a learning curve for me because I've never really took on this track very often. Obviously I've done all the circuit experiences and such, gold, but it was quite a while ago since I've even touched this track, so getting used to it again was quite a big deal for me. I did manage to get a lap time in originally that I believe at one point was 6th, however it did kind of drop down at the start of the morning when this event first came up, so I was quite happy with that. Managed to obviously start quite high up the grid. However, a bit of chaos on the first lap, first couple of laps really, did kind of sort of put me out of position, and I sort of had to battle my way up through it again. Majority of this race was kind of just holding out really. My main plan was like, well, I'm not going to sort of catch the first three up, so I'm going to try and back the rest of the pack up to each other as much as possible, because obviously if I can get them battling, even if I'm sort of down on pace, I'm still going to be able to kind of keep them at bay if they keep battling with each other as well. So that was kind of my plan. I knew I was kind of pretty much out of contention for top three pretty much instantly when I got caught up in that pack. Obviously the front few were just managing to sort of break away and stay out of any trouble, keep yourself nice and clean. So yeah, my main thing, like I said, just try and back them up and sort of just keep them at bay really. And it did mostly work until I believe lap 4, or it might have been at the end of this lap. So obviously I've got these main two here, so we've got the TCR car, and then obviously we've got, well, James. Obviously I'm just trying to sort of back the TCR car into James, hoping they start battling, and it kind of makes them make a mistake. As you can see, he's starting to defend there. Poor James nearly ends up into the middle of the desert. So I'm just going to keep pushing really and keep trying to back them up. Obviously this is in replay cam, obviously I wasn't doing it looking backwards, that would be an absolute miracle. But yeah, obviously it's just cool to kind of keep an eye on them when I go back through the replay. So now obviously they've battled each other and James has managed to sneak through. So I know James is actually quite quick, and I know if he gets a good run here he's going to manage to get past me. He does get the better run out up the straight, and he's going to manage to sort of just use that better run he had out of that corner to keep the inside line and sort of keep me at bay. But some really nice, close side-by-side racing. So at this point I'm thinking, well, do I attack him? I'm trying to sort of cut inside here, however he does manage to just keep that place. Obviously the TCR car bumping me around at this point. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm not really on the pace. I don't know if it was just because it was early morning and my concentration levels were low or whatever. I'm not really one for excuses, but I just felt quite a bit off the pace in the race. I didn't feel too bad in qualifying. And I'm kind of just hoping he makes a mistake at this point. Obviously, I know I've got the TCR car behind me, but he does seem a bit like he's, I guess, more error prone than obviously the driver we've got in front. A bit chaotic, and obviously these front wheel drive cars a bit of a nightmare. I think the main thing that kind of cost me a lot of time was on the start. I did kind of spin up the tyres a bit too much and didn't get the best getaway, and it sort of just got me back into the pack. So hopefully I can just sort of improve on them standing starts over the week, and you know, have some more enjoyable close racing, because I really just love the layout of this track. I know it's, like I said, it's a bit more awkward, but it does provide really close racing, and it's quite technical. So in the end, it is honestly the best driver wins. Obviously, we're all in one make cars. You can't really obviously do much with them. I believe balance of performance is on, so it's all about just kind of keeping together, and obviously whoever's got the best knowledge of the track and the best driver skill is going to come out on top, no doubt about that. And that's kind of, you know, credit to this layout. It's tight, it's twisty. Obviously there's big runoff areas, so if you hit that, you know, bit of sand a bit too much, it is pretty much going to send you skidding off and away. So yeah, it's all about kind of keeping a cool head and just trying to keep out of danger, because I do feel like this will be a race that will provide a lot of, you know, accidents, and I can guarantee there'll be some, you know, crazy drivers in this race this week that will purposely go out the way to kind of cause trouble. But I really did have fun, and for me it was much more enjoyable doing this event this week than with the Porsche one we had last week. I did feel that kind of, as good as it was a couple of times after that, you didn't want to kind of run it again. So I would kind of recommend actually going into this event and really just having fun with it for what it is on face value. It's some close racing, competitive racing, one make in a Honda Civic Touring Car. So, you know, it is pretty cool, pretty funky. It's just like some classic JDM racing you'd see if you've ever seen the footage of these kind of cars out in Japan. So yeah, really awesome race. So that is going to be the video. We come home 5th in the end, so quite, you know, a decent comeback from the accidents and the chaos at the start. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers for watching, guys. Peace.